Welcome in to the Gamecock Corner. It's brought to you by Randy Jones and Associates. My name is Shane Wilson, and we're joined each week by my partner, my co-host, and the guy who knows more Jacksonville State Gamecock stuff than any of the rest of us will ever be able to forget. Mike Parris joins us this morning in the Gamecock Corner. Mike, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing great. Well, you know, I made a joke at the end of the last Gamecock Corner that I hoped that the Jacksonville State Gamecocks did not return from Statesboro, Georgia with the Statesboro Blues, but unfortunately, here we are.
It was, I guess, not a good Saturday night when you booked all around. We didn't tackle well. That was one thing that was an undoing of the first three games. Now, that was by far the worst because the first two games, I thought we would tackle pretty well. We had three kickoff returns that killed us in the early going. One of them returned for a touchdown. Another one, well, both of them put them in short fields. And even with all that, you know, we're down a touchdown at the half, come out and hold them scoreless in the third quarter and get a touchdown and a field goal and take the lead in the fourth quarter, but just couldn't do anything offensively or get any points in that final quarter. So, yeah, Statesboro Blues by the time we got out of there when the horn sounded on that one Saturday night.
Now, you know, these games have to be won on the field. The players have to make the plays, and we know all that, and I'm certainly not trying to make any excuses here, but it seems like as we are getting deeper into the NIL and portal era in college football, that these kinds of games are happening more and more frequently for good teams like Jacksonville State and like many, many others. You think this is just kind of where we are in college football now, as much as anything else?
I'll be honest. I really hadn't thought of it like that. That's pretty good, though. They're probably to some degree because of all the new bodies that you have and people going here, yonder, and everywhere.
Exactly.
There's probably something to that. And, you know, one thing is, we got beat up on defense. We had two linebackers, a spot that we were pretty deep at. We lose two of our guys in the game, both unavailable in the fourth quarter. We had an offensive lineman who was out, and we ended up playing a freshman the majority of the night there at left tackle. So what I was alluding to is probably depth, maybe. Is not what it used to be because of people coming and going, I'll put it that way, or quality depth. So we just had, the kick returns were really a killer, and I think part of that was the main thing of that was we had guys that, as coaches say, got out of their lanes, got out of their fits was what happened there. So that really cost us. We'd been great. I mean, just absolutely wonderful the first two games. Had not given up much in the way of return yardage at all. And then they had three solid returns that one of them for a touchdown and then a short field as well.
All right. Well, as Taylor Swift says, you got to shake it off. You got to come back home, and now you got to take on the Murray State Racers. So tell us what you know about Murray State.
Struggling to some degree. They're an FCS program, and they are in probably the toughest league now in the FCS in the Missouri Valley. You got North Dakota State, South Dakota State in that league, and some other good quality programs. So, and Murray State throughout the years has been noted as a basketball program, a lot of tradition there. So, Jody Wright, their head coach, is a guy that we're very familiar with. Started as a player, was a student assistant, then a grad assistant, and a full-time assistant at Jacksonville State. And there are about five other guys on the staff who either played and are coached for us in the process as well. So a lot of familiarity there. If folks will remember the name of Jimmy Ogle, was a longtime assistant coach and was our OC. He is their offensive coordinator now, and his son is their starting quarterback. So there is some similarity there, but they have had some struggles. They've given up a lot of points. In fact, I think 45, and 37 in the first three games. They have scored some points, but they just hadn't been able to stop the opponent. So hopefully we can get some things going offensively. I think the biggest thing for us is to find some consistency on offense. I thought we threw the ball better at Georgia Southern in the game Saturday night, but we also had some 3 and outs in there, which, even if you don't get points out of it, need to, try to get something going, give your defensive rest, flip the field, that sort of thing. But we ended up with some 3 and outs. I think that also played a part in what happened to us Saturday night.
Well, it's happening on Saturday, and you are coming home for homecoming, which is always a big deal, too. But talk about atmosphere around homecoming and get get some folks maybe to head on over to Jacksonville that might have never been before.
We would love to see you there. They had a great crowd. It was just a great environment down at Georgia Southern on Saturday night, and we'd like to see that at home. Tonight game, 6 o'clock. I don't ever remember in all my years doing this of us having a homecoming game at night. I know that some of the other folks are not playing Saturday, so come on out and cheer us on Saturday night. We've got the new LED lights, and we get a chance finally to get under the lights for the first time. Try those out and do some things with them on Saturday night. So, and hopefully, we put on a pretty good show on the field as well.
Absolutely. Well, it's 5 o'clock pregame, 6 o'clock kickoff in Jacksonville for homecoming. Murray State Racers come calling to Amherst Stadium, Burgess Snow Field. We'll be talking about it in the Gamecock Corner with you next Wednesday, and appreciate you hanging out with us this morning.
Thanks, sir. Enjoyed it. Always a pleasure.